Hello, my friends. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Can you believe we are on day 7 of our new color week, where I'm showcasing brand new colors from the Stampin' Up catalog, the 2018 annual catalog that just came out on June 1st. If you don't have one of those and you'd like one, feel free to comment below or just shoot me an email at Jen, J-E-N-P-I-T-T-A, jenpitta@comcast.net, and I'd be happy to send one out for you if you don't already have a demonstrator that you work with. Today, we're going to use a really fun stamp set. It's one of my favorites. Living on Cape Cod, this is just a must-have for me. It's so pretty and makes some amazing cards. One of my most watched videos features this stamp set, and it's a good one. All right, so today's color combo, we're using the new in color Blueberry Bushel. We're using Mango Melody, which this combo is actually also part of the Best Route suite, which is a really fun travel suite. So if you're doing any traveling this summer, this would be a good one to have. And if you're doing traveling to some beach locations, you may want to use this stamp set with it too. You could even use the panel we're going to make today on the card as an element on a scrapbook page. So it would be great for that. So Blueberry Bushel, Mango Melody, we're going to do a little tiny touch of the soft suede, and of course a little bit of crumb cake. All right, can't leave home without it, right people? All right, so let's go ahead and get started with today's card. Today is going to be another top fold card. So we're going to start with the Whisper White thick. This is the thick cardstock actually, so this is great for card bases. We have the regular cardstock and we have the thick cardstock. So the thick cardstock is great when you want to use it as a base, because it just stands up a little better. So that is 4 1/4 by 11. And then we're gonna do a, this one I believe is 3 3/4 by 5, because it's not quite, it's got a bigger border around the outside. So 3 3/4 by 5, and then 3 1/2 by 4 3/4 for this. We're using that designer series paper that I showed you earlier this week. This is the 6 by 6 designer series paper that's got polka dots on one side and stripes on the other. Whoops, got some wood grain in there. Some stripes on the other, and these are in the 5 new in colors. And I kept calling it the wrong thing the other day. This is Grapefruit Grove. I kept calling it Grapefruit Guava because I keep wanting to call this guava. I don't know why. Pineapple Punch, Lovely Lipstick, Call Me Clover, and Blueberry Bushel. So we've used all of those colors at some point during New Color Week. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I just thought this really just looked very marine-like, very nautical. So I'm going to go ahead and take this down to our Mango Melody paper. Attach that here. And then this is just going to go flat to the card, so I'm going to do that now too. I'll attach that right in the center of our card. Okay, and then we're going to make a little nautical scene here. So first up, I'm going to take, oh, I forgot to get these all set for you. There's 2 lighthouse images. So there's the one with the vertical piece, and then the one with the kind of horizontal bits. We're going to do, I'm going to stamp the vertical one first. I'm going to use Blueberry Bushel, but I'm going to stamp it off. So we're going to take this and we're going to ink this up. And then I'm going to stamp it off. And I'm going to stamp it kind of a little bit off to the left here. And I'm going to leave a little room on the bottom as well. And you'll see why in a second. Okay, so you get that there. Then we're going to take the horizontal piece. We're going to ink this one up in the Blueberry Bushel as well, but this time we're not going to stamp it off. We're going to go direct to our paper. This is going to be tricky for me to get lined up because I usually have to get right on top of it, and I can't do that with the camera in the way. So we're just going to stamp and hope for the best. Not bad. It's a little crooked, but honestly, this stamp set is so forgiving that we won't even notice by the time I'm done. So it's all good. Okay, so I think I'm done with the Blueberry Bushel for now. Just so you know, some of these ink pads are a little bit tight at first. As you noticed, that one took a little bit more effort for me to close, but as you use them, they do get a little bit looser. One of the great aspects of the new ink pads is they don't fly off. Sometimes these older ones will come flying off at you, and that can make a great big mess. So we don't have that problem with the new ones, but it does mean that when you first get them, they can be a little bit stiff. So don't be surprised if that happens. You just kind of have to work with it a little bit, and it will get better. All right, so now I'm going to take, whoops, this little piece here. It looks just kind of like a bunch of speckles, and it's got a little cutout at the bottom if you didn't notice. That's too short. Let's try this one. Oh, that one's a little short too. Let's do it this way. All right, so you can see that's where you can stick your lighthouse. So that will fill that little hole perfectly. So I'm going to ink that up with Crumb Cake. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right along the bottom. And there you go. So you have some nice sand for your lighthouse. I'm also going to take, I'm going to leave the Crumb Cake out for a second. I'm going to take in here, we have this little light piece. I'm going to take, got string on it, I'll take that off. I'm going to take another block, and I'm going to use the Mango Melody, and I'm going to ink this up, and I'm going to kind of point it upward just a little bit, and then I'm going to stamp it, and then just very slightly move it just a little bit down and stamp again, and that just gives the double kind of look, little shadow look, which I liked. I actually did it on my original card by accident, and then I kind of liked how it looked. So I'm going to repeat that. All right, so now I'm going to take my Crumb Cake ink and my sponge. We'll do a little inking of the edge. So as I said, this would make a cute little panel on a scrapbook page as well. So there's that. Okay, and then this was the Nature's Poem twine that I talked about earlier in the week. I don't remember what day it was from. I'd have to think, but I had to switch it out because I didn't have this on the table. I had to use the linen thread instead, but I wanted to show this to you. This is the thread that I used for this card too. It's that Crumb Cake color, and it's part of this collection. You get all 4 of these for $9, and you get the Fresh Fig Grapefruit Grove. I had to think about that, and the Mint Macaron, which all goes with the Nature's Poem suite, but these also work very well with other projects too. As you can tell, I like this one a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a piece of this. I'm going to wrap this around, and I'm going to tie a little bow. So we'll do this. I'm going to tie it off to this side here on the left. Nope. Yeah, on the left. And then I can fluff it up a little bit. I don't want it too big. That looks good. And then we'll tighten it a little bit and trim off any excess. So it looks like that. And I'm going to set that aside for a second. I need to work on another layer. So we're going to do, on this one, we're going to do the greeting. And I liked this one that says, "You have the most amazing ability to take an ordinary moment and make it shine." I just thought that was very appropriate for this card. So we're going to go ahead, and I actually want that shine to be in a different color. So normally you could take your markers and you could color, flip it up, flip your stamp upside down. This is so crooked. Hold on. You could stamp your, or I'm sorry, you could flip your stamp upside down and use your markers to color with the edge of your marker the different colors that you want. But I don't have this new Mango Melody. Oh, you know what? I lied. I do have it, but I'm going to show you how to do this because I didn't have it over the weekend when I designed this card. I do actually have the marker, so I could do it that way, but I'm going to show you this way anyway because I think it might give you some a new tip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it up, and I use the soft suede for this greeting. I'm going to ink it with a dauber. So if you don't have a marker in a certain color, you can use the sponge daubers to sponge on the color instead. So you would just take the yellow. I'm going to use the Mango Melody here. And I'm going to use the sponge dauber. And I'm just going to ink up the shine in the yellow. So you do have to be a little bit careful as you get close to the other letters. But just take your time, and you're just going to blot the color right onto your stamp. And of course, the more you go over it, the darker it will be. Okay, so there's that piece. And then we're going to take the soft suede, and I'm going to ink that up, and I'm going to do the rest of the words with that dauber. All right, so now I got to be a little careful, and actually it looks like I got a little brown on the top, which it's really not the end of the world, but I'm going to try and go back and fix that a little bit. So I put that on there, and then just because I know I got some on the top there, I'm going to go back in with this dauber and change that back to the yellow. And then before you stamp, you just want to kind of breathe on it, because that will just re-moisten anything that may have dried out while you were daubing somewhere else. Just re-moistens the ink. And then I'm going to take this little square piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp that right in the middle. Straight down, straight up, and then you get, oh, I got some yellow up here too, but that's okay. It really kind of doesn't matter all that much. You don't have to be perfect. You could actually kind of mix in a little bit of yellow everywhere if you want it to look like the shine here was reflecting on the words, but it's not the end of the world if there's a little bit of mix. I'm going to go ahead and take my Crumb Cake ink again, and I'm going to go ahead and ink the edges of this one too. And then we're just going to assemble these little panels. So let me close up my ink pads so I don't have any mistakes. Ask me how I know these things happen. All right, and then I'm going to take the card, and I'm going to flip this one over. I'm going to add some dimensionals to this, because this twine is a lot thicker than our linen thread. So I do want to make sure that I lift it up a little bit so that it won't sit awkwardly with this bump from the ribbon. So this will lift it up just enough so it doesn't make the panel be bumpy. So I'm going to peel these off. And I'm going to go ahead and stick this kind of off to the left here. Okay, and then my greeting I'm going to stick here, but I want to pop this one up too. One, because this is thick here too, so I don't want it to be bumpy. It won't really sit flat because that would kind of look weird. So I'm going to bump this one up, but I'm going to put one dimensional on each side so it will kind of go overlap this. And then I'm actually going to do double dimensionals on this side because this is going to be popped up twice now, so it has to kind of even out. So one here, one here. I'm going to do one here. One here. I'm going to pull the backings off of these, and I'm going to add another one on top of them. So I'm going to put that there, like try to line it up with the shape that's already there. Pull those off. So it's kind of double dimension. This one obviously will probably need an extra postage stamp just because it's going to be so high, but that's okay. So we're going to just tape that down. And you can see how it kind of evens it out. See? There. And there you have your finished card. We could add some Wink Stella in here too, but I just think this is just a classic, simple card, and that it really shows off those colors beautifully. So thank you so much again for watching our Day 7 episode of New Color Week. As a reminder, we do have my New Color Club coming up. It's going to start in July, but the last day to register is June 25th, and what it is every month you'll receive 2 new colors, the new colors that are in the collection. So you wouldn't be receiving soft suede, but it would be just the brand new colors. There's 16 of them in the core collections, not the in colors. And you would get 2 each month with the refills and the markers to match. And then you'd also receive, you'd be hostess 1 month where you could earn extra rewards if you decide to do a party online or in person, or you would just get your $25 product bonus for being a club member. You also get a little goodie embellishment of stuff each month from me as my little thank you. And at the end of club, at the completion of club, you'll get a free Stampin' Blends alcohol marker duo that you can pick the color on. And if you join this week during New Color Week, you'll also get this really cool color swatch tag set that will tell you all the new colors, their color families, and it will be great for you to kind of get ideas for different color combos, but then you can also match these cardstock pieces to your existing designer series paper or pattern paper, and you can figure out what color cardstock would match it best. So it's going to be a really great tool in your craft room, and that's only free if you join during New Color Week, which ends on Monday, June 11th. So be sure to shoot me an email at Jen, Jenpitta, so it's Jen Pitta at Comcast.net, and then let me know that you want to be part of Color Club, and we'll get you set up in the private Facebook group, and we'll get you set up with your hostess rewards and things once I pull the random hostesses for the month. So it's going to be really super fun. I'm super excited about sharing all these new colors this year with you. So much fun. And I'm so happy that you joined me for today's video, and I hope you'll be back for tomorrow for day 8. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.